Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Linda, and I am the co-founder of Girls Gone Forex and the master trainer and trader for Trade Like a Girl Academy. Welcome to our overview of Forex Essentials Live, as well as Prep School Live, and of course, everything and anything as it relates to Forex trading and the Forex market. It appears that some of those that were invited will be coming in a little bit late due to these unknown Facebook issues, which I'm sure we will hear all about tomorrow or this evening on social media and everywhere else. Nonetheless, I'm glad that you guys were able to get on. If you know anyone who possibly is missing it because they may not be able to access the link within Facebook, I will be posting it within the group. The recording, I'll go ahead and download it and post it in the group. So you guys are welcome to share it from there. I will also open up the call to any questions that you guys may have specifically as it relates to the courses that we offer, Forex trading, of course. My business partner, Robin Mansell, is also on the call. She is over mindset. For those of you who are not aware, when it comes down to trading, mindset is truly the most important aspect of trading. You can have the best strategy in the world, you can have the best money management, risk management in the world, really something that you would think is pretty perfect. If your mindset is not right and different things that come into play like discipline and consistency, if you don't have those things together, they can totally take a great strategy and turn it into a loser, which ultimately will turn your account into a losing account. So real quick, just briefly, Girls Gone Forex was originally started back in the winter of 2016 as a idea from Robin in order to get women to trade in the Forex market. She had a goal of teaching 100 women how to trade Forex. Forex, of course, is the largest financial market in the world. It eclipses the stock market and everything and anything else that you may think of that can possibly be traded, because we're talking about not only all of the financial transactions that are done in the United States, but all of the transactions that are done all over the world. US doing business with Japan, Britain, UK, Paris, Australia, New Zealand, you name it. When we do business with other continents, and in other countries, we, of course, have to exchange US dollars for whatever that other currency is. And that, of course, is what foreign exchange is. As Forex traders, what we do is capitalize on the price fluctuations between currencies that occur minute by minute, second by second, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. However, we are only able to trade 5.5 days a week, and that is 24 hours a day. Because prices fluctuate both up and down, as Forex traders, we are able to capitalize on movement going up. We can buy currency pairs. When movement is going down, we can sell currency pairs, and I will absolutely show you an example of that as the market permits us to do so. You are currently looking at live market feed within a demo account. Within Forex Essentials Live, you will actually download a demo account, learn how to navigate this demo account, and execute trades within the demo account as well. You will learn each of the parts of this software, which is called MetaTrader 4 software. That is what we actually execute our trades on. There are tons of software out there, proprietary. MetaTrader 5, MetaTrader 4 is one that has been around the longest time. It can be used not only for personal trading, but it's really good for use with robots, algorithms, scripts, indicators that can be imported in so that you can truly create your own trading business out of your Forex trading. So hopefully the markets will give us some good movement while we are here. I see New Zealand dollar USD is starting to move up a little bit, and I'll show you how we execute trades in the market. So Robin wanted to teach women how to trade. She didn't quite know how, and by a fluke, she actually ended up meeting me, found out that I had been trading for over a decade. Her and I began to talk, and ultimately I created a curriculum which back then was just known as Girls Gone Forex University, and really what seems like overnight, Girls Gone Forex University turned into Trade Like a Girl Academy. What started with 16 women back in February of 2017 has turned into over 800 women that have enrolled in our course. We have over 200 women that have successfully graduated from our course. In order to graduate from our course, you have to go through all of the phases and be able to create your own trading strategy that you have written, that you are in compliance with, and create a trading business plan for yourself. So when you walk away from Trade Like a Girl Academy, you have a trading business right at in the palm of your hand or at your fingertips. You can use your phone to trade. You can, of course, use your computer to trade. All you need is internet access and, of course, know how to read the candlesticks and the charts that are in front of you so that you can use this as a vehicle to create income, build wealth, or just help to supplement whatever it is that you desire. So in us creating this, we not only have created something where you learn a skill that no one will ever be able to take away from you. I've been trading over 18 years. Throughout those 18 years, I've always been able to come back to trading in the markets, even when there were times when I walked away and decided to start a spa and wanted to do something different for a while. I could always come back to the markets because the markets, number one, will always be here. And number two, this isn't something that I have to talk to anybody else about. It is truly just me and the markets, what I do in the markets, when I choose to be in the markets, when I don't choose to be in the markets. So it gives me all of the flexibility of time that I need. I can travel and trade at the same time. I can wake up in the middle of the night and trade. I can wake up in the 5 a.m. and trade. It really gives me all of the freedom that I need, not only from a time perspective, but also from a financial perspective to lead the life that I desire, to create a legacy for my children, teach my children, and my children actually do know how to trade. They don't trade as consistently as I would desire, but it is something that they will always have in their back pocket, whether they choose to pursue their own dreams and desires or just want to be an entrepreneur like their mom was and sit in front of the charts for a couple of hours out of the day and create their income that way. So not only did we want to empower and educate women with this skill and really bring women into an industry where there aren't very many. The numbers are definitely starting to increase, but back when I was trading, forget about it. I literally was the only woman in the room for many, many years. So, and even being involved with more women now, when we go to events like Robin and I attended a Traders Expo this past weekend, there's still only a handful of women that are attending these events and actually trading in these markets here in the United States. You go to Japan or Asia, and there are women all in these markets, and we really want to bring that to the United States because this is definitely something that's viable. You have to learn it the correct way. You can't approach it from a get-rich-quick scheme idea. You have to put in the work, but when you do all of those things, have a good solid strategy, have the right mindset, proper risk and money management, the sky truly is the limit. I am a former money manager, so I truly have a plan of action for anyone that simply wants to create an additional $100 a month to someone who would actually like to be a money manager as well. Whatever your path is as it relates to the financial markets, and not even just Forex. When you learn how to read a chart, a chart is something that you can take to all of the other financial markets as well. So the same type of candlesticks that you'll learn to read here with Trade Like a Girl Academy, you can look at a stock chart with candlesticks and read it and execute trades in a similar manner. Futures, options, all of those financial markets that allow you to read the market via Japanese candlesticks or any type of charting method, you can use the strategies and concepts that you learned here in Trade Like a Girl Academy and be able to diversify and expand your repertoire as it relates to the financial markets. So we just want to bring you the right education. We want to bring you a support system and a family where we are all seeking the same goals, whether it is to be a millionaire or not. We're seeking financial independence and time freedom on a level that we may not be able to get in some of the other ventures that we do, and especially as an employee working a 9-to-5 job for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, sometimes 70 years. So this is something that will allow you to truly grow and build. It will grow as you grow and come to a place where you own your own business, that you dictate everything and anything that you do with it. So in front of you, let's go ahead and hop in the markets really quick, and then we can talk about the course itself. So again, this is the live price feed of a demo account through a broker called Traders Way. Now, because we are retail traders, we don't get to just go directly to the major banks and say, hey, I want to be a Forex trader. Can you send me some prices in the morning and in the afternoon? I'm going to buy and sell some currencies. It doesn't work like that for us. So what we have to do is actually have a relationship with a broker, and we get our prices directly from the broker. So the broker has relationships with liquidity providers and financial institutions that will give them the pricing in the market. Once they receive the pricing in the market, they pass that on to us so that we can make trading decisions as to whether or not we want to buy a specific currency pair or to sell a specific currency pair. Whenever you are trading in the Forex market, you are always trading in pairs. You will have, in this particular case, we're looking at the Australian dollar versus the US dollar. You can trade the euro versus the US dollar, the British pound versus the US dollar, and you can even trade cross pairs like the British pound versus the Japanese yen. There are typically, on each broker, there's about 85 pairs that you can choose from in order to trade. Some exotic, some not so much. You can trade the peso, you can trade the Turkish lira. There's definitely some exotics in there. We, from the beginning, focus on the majors so that you can definitely get a lot of the liquidity and movement that's in the market. And then as you continue on your Forex journey, you will learn some of the other pairs and ultimately create a business trading whichever pairs that you want to trade. So the key of it is that you are always trading in pairs, and because we're trading in pairs, there's a simultaneous buy and sell of each of the currency sides that you are trading. So in this particular case, we have the Australian dollar versus the USD. If I'm buying the Australian dollar, then that means I am simultaneously selling the US dollar. If I am selling the Australian dollar, then that means that I am simultaneously buying the US dollar on each and every side. And that occurs on every transaction that you enter. It doesn't matter the currency pair. Whatever you do to the left side, you are automatically doing the opposite to the right side, and vice versa. So what advantage does that give you as it relates to the Forex market compared to other markets? That means that you can buy and or sell at any given time and still have the same profit potential, assuming that the market is going in that same direction. So in this particular case, looking at the Australian dollar USD, we have a little bit of bullish movement going on right now. Not necessarily a great situation in which we were to buy at this point, but if I wanted to buy the Australian dollar now, I would click on the buy button. It would automatically sell the US dollar at the exact same time, as long as these green candlesticks or the market price, which you see here highlighted on the right, as long as that continues upward, then I would be making profit on that particular trade. On the opposite side, if for ever reason there was a report coming out or I thought that the price was going to go down without me ever having to buy anything up front, because of course it's a simultaneous transaction, I can choose to sell the Australian dollar, and as long as the market went down, then I would gain profit on that end. So whichever way the market's going, you learn ultimately how to read a chart and to make your trading decisions based on what you see in front of you. Not a guess, not a hunch. You actually read the market. The market conveys a message for you. Each and every candlestick, this is what we call these, each and every candlestick that you see conveys a message in the market. We're actually looking at a daily chart. So let me go down to a 15-minute chart and we can see this a little better. So now we're looking at the same currency pair, but this is a 15-minute chart. And what I did in order to get to this 15-minute chart was simply click on the time frame in my toolbar. Because we're now on a 15-minute chart, that means each of these candlesticks is equivalent to 15 minutes of time. So right now, it is 6:16 p.m. Central Standard Time. That means that this little red blip that you see here that has just started forming, this is a candlestick formation that is only about a minute old. This previous candlestick would have been from 6 o'clock to 6:15. The candlestick before this would have been 5:45 to 6 o'clock, so on and so forth, because each of these candlesticks is only worth 15 minutes of time. If I were on an hourly candlestick or an hourly chart like I am now, I just switched over, then now each of these candlesticks is equal to 1 hour period of time. So if I wanted to know where and what the price was doing at 8 o'clock in the morning, then I would just go back to 8 o'clock, count backwards with these candlesticks, find where that 8 o'clock candlestick is, and that would tell me what the price action was doing at 8 o'clock this morning. If I wanted to know what it was doing at 2 o'clock this afternoon, then I would just count back, and that would tell me what the candlestick was doing at 2 o'clock. First, I was on the daily candlestick, and the same thing applies for a daily candlestick. These are all worth 24-hour period of time. So yesterday, this is all of the movement in this candlestick here. This is all of the movement that occurred in the 24-hour period from 5 p.m. Central Standard Time to 5 p.m. today. Each of our days in the Forex market starts at 5 p.m. every day, and that's considered a new clock. So what you will see occur on your charts is at 5 p.m. it'll zero out and it'll become 00. Here at the bottom of your chart, you see the date and the timestamp. So at the beginning of each new day, it'll say 00, and then that full day will run until 23:59, and then it'll go back to 00, and that's the start of your new day. And this continues 24 hours a day, 5.5 days a week. The market closes Friday afternoon, about 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then reopens on Sunday, approximately the same time, 4 or 5 p.m. on Sunday, and then the clock just goes around the globe from New Zealand, Australia, Tokyo, London, New York, all over again, 24 hours a day, 5.5 days a week. So you truly can choose whenever you want to trade. Depending on when you trade, however, a different strategy might have to be used, because just because the market's open doesn't mean that there's a lot of volume at 9 p.m. every night, or a lot of volume at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So depending on how and when you want to trade, then you will learn a specific strategy and select a specific pair that is conducive to those particular hours. I typically trade from about 5:30 a.m. in the morning to about 7:30 a.m. in the morning. So I slot out about a 2-hour time frame for my trading hours each and every day. Typically, the market has been moving, and typically it does, that first hour that I'm trading. So typically my trading hour or my trading day is done within about the first 30-45 minutes of my trading time. I have specific goals that I desire to reach each trading day. So within that time period, I'm typically able to reach my goals, and then I can go about my day and do whatever I choose to for the rest of the day, bar any Girls Gone Forex business, of course, that I have to do, or mama duty. I typically have mama duty in the mornings as well. But I can get my trading done before mama duty kicks in, and then I can do whatever it is that Linda needs to do for the remainder of the day, take care of business, run errands, go to the gym, all of those things. So that is where coming back to that time freedom and financial freedom all going together. I don't have to sit in front of the charts all day long. This is not an 8-hour a day job. It's not a 5-hour, 6-hour, 4-hour, 3-hour. You ultimately can choose good solid trading hours and good solid trading pairs to where you're in and out of the market pretty quickly. You can also choose different strategies that will allow you to be in and out of the market. My son is currently testing a strategy that he sets pending orders. It takes him about 15 to 20 minutes in the evening between about 5 and 6 p.m. to set his pending orders, and that is all he does. The pending order either gets hit or it doesn't. The very next day he does the exact same thing. There might be a little bit of management that he has to do just to check the status of his trade during the day, but he is not in front of the charts more than about 30-45 minutes. You, as a trading business owner, as a Forex trader, can choose exactly what you want to do when you want to do it in the markets. So this is Australian dollar USD, not really any good trading opportunities for us. What you will learn in our courses is actually how to read these charts. If you look from left to right on this chart, you can see that it is going up. This is what we call an overall uptrend in the market. Typically, when the market is in an uptrend, you would get into a buy position because you are anticipating that the market is going to go up. If the market is in a downtrend, you would get into a sell position because you're anticipating that the market is going to go down. But there are what we call periods of consolidation or sideways movement, where the market is not moving up or down. It's moving up and down, but not in a trend, because the market naturally ebbs and flows. So you will have waves of up, waves of down, waves of up, waves of down. And here is a clear example of that. This is what we call consolidation. The market is just basically moving sideways, up and down, but there is no clear continuation of the uptrend we were in. It has not reversed and started to go down. So in situations like this, depending on whether or not the market is moving in a wide consolidation or a tight consolidation, then a different strategy would be used. If it's in a tight consolidation kind of here, the difference between the top and bottom of these candlesticks is really only about 5 or 6 pips. So that's not something that you can realistically trade within. So this would be that kind of time of day where we'd be like, yeah, we're going to sit this one out, wait for the market to make a decision, wait to see whether or not the bulls are in control or the bears are in control. Bulls will be looking at the green candlesticks. Bears, we'd be looking at the red candlesticks, but we're looking for full control. We're not just looking for one candlestick here that's red, one candlestick there that's red. We're looking for a definitive answer that the bulls are in control or the bears are in control, and then we can make a decision to get into a trade. There is one thing that I always say: If the market doesn't know who's in control, then there's no way that you can know who's in control. So that means you need to sit it out, and that would be a no trading period. So right now on this particular pair, there is not a trade that we would actually enter. However, if it was to start moving down quite rapidly, it would give us an opportunity. If it was to start to move up and break out of this sideways movement that it's doing, then that would be an opportunity for us to get into a trade as well. Currently, we are in the midst of the Sydney Australian market. That means that Sydney and Australia have opened up business a couple of hours ago. So their financial centers are currently active and moving. Tokyo is going to be opening up here within the next 30 minutes or so. And then a pair such as the USD JPY or the British Pound JPY, the Euro JPY, the Australian JPY, those are the pairs that would start moving around this time. So here you can see that this pair, which is USD JPY, let's go to a 15-minute chart. We see a little bit more movement on this particular pair. This candlestick is definitely giving us some movement. So there's a little bit more room for us to actually get some trading in on this. The other thing that we do, and you go through the process of learning, is how to plot specific zones in the market that really tell us where we should get into a trade and where we should get out of a trade, because we don't just make money by buying or selling. We actually have to close that trade out at some point, and it's not a guessing game. You're looking at the charts, you're analyzing the movement in the market, you're placing what we call support and resistance zones, so that we respect the support and resistance zones that the market has created and use them as our entries and our exits in the market. Currently, you're just looking at a bear chart. Visibly, I can see where the support and resistance zones are because I have been trading for so long, and you too will come to that point as well. You'll know exactly how to plot them, where to plot them, so that you can make good quality trades. And in making those trades, we would buy or sell based on those support and resistance zones, based on what the candlesticks are telling us. And then we would also select where our take profit would be. And of course, with a name like take profit, it means exactly what it says. We set a specific area where we want to take our profit, meaning we have gained. We have a zone in which once the market price hits that particular area, it will automatically close our trade out in profit. On the same side of that, risk management is very, very important when it comes to your trading. Not only do we want to protect our assets, but we also want to keep our assets. So in protecting and keeping our assets, we also use stop losses. And stop losses are put in place so that if a trade goes against us, or I won't say if, I'll say when a trade goes against us, because losses are inevitable in your trading business. What we want to do is have more wins than losses. Hedge funds, the best traders in the entire world, all lose trades. So it's not a matter of getting into the markets and trading and trading to avoid losses. They're absolutely going to come. So what we have to do is protect ourselves by minimizing those losses, and that's what our stop losses do. So just like a take profit would take us out in gain, a stop loss is going to protect us from losing more than we want to on any given trade. Whether that's a percentage of your account, whether it is a specific dollar amount, that is how you protect yourself. So for every trade that we enter, we're going to set a take profit so that if and when the market hits that level, it's going to take us out in a gain. And we're going to set a stop loss so that if by chance we got into a trade and it goes against us, then we're protected by our stop loss, and it'll take us out of that trade at a loss, but at a specified value that we are already aware of in advance before we ever even executed the trade. Just like I said, there's no guesswork in getting into the trade, the same thing applies with your take profit and your stop loss. You will never get into a trade without knowing in advance how much is at risk, whether that be $5, $10, $50, $100 is absolutely your choice, but you go into each and every trade knowing what the potential risk for that trade is going to be. So there's no shocker if it loses. You know, hey, I was going to lose 20 bucks on that trade. I knew that going in. Just like there's no surprise on the other end if you gain 40, 50, 60, because that is how you have set up that trade from the very beginning. So as I am talking, I'm looking for a good trade entry for us. This is the New Zealand dollar USD. Since the New Zealand and the Australian market is currently open, typically we'll see more movement in those pairs. I'm not seeing much there. Everything looks like it's in consolidation, so I might have to go with NZD is at the top of the charts. I want to show you exactly how it is that you make money when you are trading. Let's look at USDJPY. So USDJPY, we are always going to look at our charts from the very beginning from left to right so we can ascertain exactly what's going on with the market, what's going on with this chart. And you learn something called multi-time frame analysis. And with multi-time frame analysis, you actually start with a longer time frame like the daily chart and see what's going on with the daily chart. Here we can see that USDJPY has been in a fairly tight consolidation on the daily chart. We would go down to another chart, possibly our hourly chart, see what's going on the hourly chart. Here we can see that it's a wider consolidation with some upward and downward movement. These last three candlesticks, remember that these are hourly charts, so we see on these past two candlesticks, a little bit of bearish momentum is happening. The three candlesticks before that, we definitely had some bullish momentum. So we use all of this information to help make our trading decisions. When I get down to my 15-minute chart, I'm seeing a little bit of the same. Definitely there was some downward movement earlier. The market hit what we would call a level of support, or it hit a bottom. Once it hit that bottom, it did start to go up, but it has hit a level of resistance, which is also known as a top, and has since then come down. So now we see that it appears that the bears are in more control than the bulls are. Nothing really definitive. If I were to truly execute a trade that I normally would, I would wait for the bulls to actually break below the bottom of both of these candlesticks, and then I would actually enter into a trade. For the sake of time, I'm just going to go with the current sentiment of this candlestick and enter into a sell, although it absolutely could go either way. So we might have to use our take profit. We might have to use our stop loss. We're going to place both of them, and whichever one the market hits while we're within this call, we'll be able to see it. So you can see here I have $1,000 in this particular account. We always start out with a demo account, become familiar with the MetaTrader 4 software, become familiar with the strategies, executing of trades, labeling your charts, and go through your journeys of education and phases before you open up an account with real live money. You open it with real live money, you're going to use the same strategies in order to get in and out of trades. Nothing at all can compare to trading live money versus demo money. So this truly is practice. Once you go into live trading, there is definitely a mindset shift that you have to go through. No different than playing, Monopoly and then maybe going to Vegas and playing poker. There's a huge difference between sitting at home playing with little fake discs and actually putting real money on the line. So that is the same process that you will ultimately go through. For some, it's fairly easy. For others, it's a little tough, but we're here to support you either way it goes. So based on your account value that you have, and based on your risk appetite. Some of you are conservative, some of you are moderate, some of you are aggressive. I teach from a moderate perspective so that when you leave Trade Like a Girl Academy, you can choose for yourself whether you want to stay at that moderate level, whether you want to become a little bit more aggressive, or whether you want to trade a little bit more conservative. Moderate is our max while we are in the education phase of our journey. But based on your account value, based on your risk appetite, that is how you decide how much money you are not only going to risk, but that also equates to how much money that you are possibly going to make on each and every trade. And here, as we're sitting here, it's about to break through the level that I would want it to. So on a $1,000 account or on any size account, the absolute lowest amount that you're going to be able to execute a trade on is based on 10 cents. And when you execute a trade based on 10 cents, like I am about to do now, that means for every point that the price fluctuates either up or down, I'm either going to gain 10 cents for every point or I'm going to lose 10 cents for every point. If I was trading at a little higher level, then I could trade at $1 per pip. And for every point it moves in the direction of my trade, I would gain $1 for every point. If it was going against me, then I would lose $1 for every single point. If you have a larger account size, then that's going to allow you to trade at $5, $10, $20, $100 per point. So it all fluctuates based on, and let me do a dollar per point just so that you guys can see it pretty easily. It all is going to be dependent on your account value, number one, and then what your risk appetite is. So I'm going to trade at $1 per point. I'm going to enter into a sell. When you first execute a trade, this is a new demo account I just opened, that's going to ask me permission. So I'll enter into a sell, and it is just that easy. You click one button, this is called one-click trading. You click one button and it automatically puts me in a sell position. It tells me here that I'm in a sell, it tells me the value that I'm in, and then of course the market is going to start moving. If you see here at the bottom of my chart, it gives me all of the details about the trade that I just entered. I entered a sell at 0.10. 0.10 is equivalent to $1 per pip. I entered a trade on USD JPY, so that means I sold US dollars and I'm simultaneously buying the yen on the opposite side. It gives me the price that I entered the trade at. Here is my stop loss and take profit, which I'm about to enter for you guys, and the current price that's in the market. If there's commission that I have to pay the broker, my commission price is here. A swap rate is interest that is either deducted or paid to you based on you holding a position over that 24-hour clock. Since it's past the 00, I'm not going to get paid any interest and I don't have to pay out any interest. So that's why it's zeroed out here. And then in this final column, it's telling me what my current profit or loss is. So I've entered into a sell position. The very next thing that you want to do without waiting as long as I waited is make sure that you set your take profit and stop loss. Because I entered into a sell, my take profit is going to be below my entry because a sell is anticipation that the market is going to move down. So since I'm trading at $1 a point or $1 a pip, then for every point the market goes down, then I would make $1 per point. So there is definitely some areas of resistance and support within here. I'm going to go ahead and go down to the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same thing for my stop loss. So the first one I labeled was my take profit. You can see here it created an order number with a TP next to it, which stands for take profit. And here within my TP window, it now has a price where it was zeroed out. This means that if this trade goes into profit and hits my take profit level, I would make 13 pips, 13 points. Pips is specific to the Forex world. It stands for percentage in point, and that basically is the price fluctuations in points. We call them pips. So I would have made 13 pips if it closes out on my take profit. Because I'm trading at $1 a pip, then I would make $13 from this level that I entered based on a take profit of this level. If I was trading at 10 cents, then I would make $1.30. If I was trading at $10 a pip, I would make $130. If I was trading at $5, $50, $100 a pip, again, based on my account size, then the dollar amount changes. You just multiply that dollar amount by the pip, the take profit pips that you have on that particular account. Same thing applies to my stop loss. I'm going to drag and drop my stop loss. And in this case, we're going to go ahead and just put it on 10 so we can keep some round numbers here. USD JPY doesn't actually trade at a dollar per dollar value. So here you can see that at 10 pips, I would actually lose $9 on this particular trade just based on the exchange rate. So it will vary depending on the currency pair that you're actually trading. So I already know, since I have a predetermined take profit level, a predetermined stop loss level, I know that I'm trading at $1 per pip. I automatically know that if this trade goes against me, I'm going to lose $9. It's not going to be 90, it's not going to be 900, it's not going to be 256. It's going to be exactly what I set it to be. Sometimes there's a little bit of slippage if the market moves too fast, but I know here what my risk is on every trade that I enter. And that's how you go into every trade every single day, knowing exactly what your risk is on your stop loss side, knowing what your potential profit is on your profit side. And you can do that with USD JPY, you can do that with Euro USD, British Pound USD, whatever currency pair that you choose based on what you read in the market, what the candlesticks are telling you, and where those support and resistance zones that I mentioned are in the market. Oh, we should have stuck with NZD USD. This is only about a 4, 5, 6, 7. This is only a 7 pip move. It looks pretty big, but it's only about 7 pips. So if we had sold up here and we were still in this trade, then we would be up in profit about 7 pips. If for whatever reason we bought up here, we would be down 7 pips. So depending on the direction in the market that you go and the direction that the market actually goes is how you ascertain whether or not you are gaining or losing. And then of course you always will see it here at the bottom of your terminal. So again, there's never any guesswork. The only surprise that should come with your trading is either how slowly or how quickly it actually got to your take profit or your stop loss level. Sometimes it's really fast, sometimes it's really slow. Typically during this time of evening, the Tokyo market, the Australian market, this is considered the slowest moving of the 3 different markets there are. The Australian Sydney market, they are considered a separate financial center, but because Tokyo comes in about 2 to 3 hours in, we really just bulk it all together. But this is really one of what is considered a slower moving market. There's not a lot of volume unless there's currency, unless there's financial reports or announcements that come out, and you learn how to read those announcements as well. Announcements typically rate decisions, different reports regarding a specific economy that can cause some volatility in the market. So if you're a slow-paced person, maybe someone who just likes things slow and easy, not rushed, patient. You definitely have to be patient when trading. But if you're really, really naturally patient, then trading in these kind of hours might be something for you. For me, I like to get in and out of trades, so I want fast-moving markets, which are typically going to occur during the London market, during the London-New York crossover, because there's lots of volume. Obviously, the New York financial centers are open. The London financial center is open. So there's a lot of money being moved during those times. So you're going to see a lot more activity during those times, and tons of reports come out during the London-New York crossover as well, which is why typically I'm finished trading within about 30, 45, maybe an hour each and every day. Whereas if I was trading here in Tokyo, it might take me a few hours to get out of my trades. But that's just me. You, of course, will always select trading that is conducive not only to your schedule, but who you are as a person. You select trading hours based on that. You select your strategy based on who you are as your person, who you are as a person, so that it can truly fit you. I can't force you to trade like me because you don't think like me. I can teach you specific strategies, but you're still going to have to make those strategies your own, because you're going to look at the markets very differently. The same, we're looking at, support and resistance zones that might be very similar, that might be a couple of pips apart, but the way that you choose to get into that trade is going to be different from me, because your brain works differently from me. You see the markets differently from me. So it's very important that you create a strategy that works for you and who you absolutely are at all times. That is Forex and how and why we trade in a nutshell. Any questions that anyone has, you can take yourself off mute, or you can use the chat box in order to ask any questions, or if you'd like me to show you anything on the chart. And we can do that real quick before I get into the academy and everything that is offered within the course. No questions? Good. Hopefully that means I did a great job explaining everything. So let's go ahead and talk about the course itself. We'll start with Forex Essentials, and then we'll go to Prep School. Forex Essentials is our flagship course. It is the introductory to Trade Like a Girl Academy. Pull up Trade Like a Girl Academy. You can find Trade Like a Girl Academy at www.tradelikeagirlacademy.com. I see a chat that pulled up. Stephanie asks, how are taxes handled during tax time? So that is going to be absolutely based on you individually, whether or not you choose to set up your trading business as an LLC, a corporation, or if you're simply just putting it as self-employment income, or if you're setting it up solely as trading income. So there are various ways that you can set up your trading business or even report your trading income. It, of course, should be reported. You definitely would need to talk to your CPA about it. There is a company called Green Trader. I think their website is greentradertax.com. They specialize in traders' taxes. There are special laws as it relates to trading, different laws in whether or not you would be considered a full-time trader for profit versus just a trader who sometimes hops in the market and doesn't really treat it like a business. So that definitely is something that's very, very, very individual. Are you doing it as a part-time hobby? Are you truly creating it as a business? So definitely talk to a tax accountant professional based on what your desires are and what you choose and how you choose to set up your business so that you can get that exact information. But what will happen at the end of the year, depending on the broker that you are with, you'll get a 1099 that shows all of your profits and losses. You also get a report at the end of every month, at the end of every day, showing all of your profits and losses that you have, all of your deposits or withdrawals that have been done. And you can also run that report via the MetaTrader 4 software as well. So you'll have all of that information that you need in order to do any tax reporting whatsoever. So tradelikeagirlacademy.com is where you will find all of our courses. This is where you would go to sign up for the class and read additional information about any of the classes that you have. If you already have an account with Trade Like a Girl Academy, then you would simply log into your account and then hover over any specifics that are here. Trade Like a Girl Forex Essentials. Forex Essentials Live is the next Forex Essentials course that we're offering beginning on April 8th. Registration for that course will end on April 5th, I believe, but don't quote me on that. I will definitely post it in the group. Forex Essentials Live is a 6-week course that I proctor each week. So we have a 30, 45 minute, sometimes hour-long session each and every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time so that we can go over the weekly concepts and information that is taught during that particular module, as well as answer any questions that you have. Sometimes there's supplemental information that is given, maybe some reading, so that it will support the concept within that week. So we go through 6 separate modules, starting with week 1, Introduction to Forex. By the end of Forex Essentials, you will have downloaded your MetaTrader 4 software. You will have learned how to navigate all of the parts of MetaTrader 4, including placing horizontal lines, labeling the charts, using arrows, learning how to take screenshots so that you can submit them for your coursework, customize the screen as you saw mine with the red and green candlesticks and the white background as well. You finish up with actually executing trades and learning how to calculate pips. Pips and points are typically the same, where you learn how to calculate the price differential for your take profits, your stop loss, spreads, and other things that you learn as well. You execute trades, learn how to place the take profit and stop loss similar to what I did using one-click trading. You also learn how to do the same using the open order box, and I'll actually show you the course itself. So this is the one that's currently available. We are in the midst of Forex Essentials on Demand. Forex Essentials on Demand was a self-paced course where all 3 of these have the exact same curriculum, a little different format for each of them. The Forex Essentials on Demand was an 8-week self-paced course where there was no live interaction as it relates to an instructor. It was just more of a correspondence course for you to go through within 8 weeks, but do all of the same things such as the journaling, the quizzes, and of course the screenshots and submissions, all within 8 weeks so that you could go to the next level, which is prep school. Our Forex Essentials 3-day live is, again, all of the exact same concepts are taught in all 3, but 3-day live is hosted over the course of 3 days, a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from, I believe, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on those 3 days. So it's really the 6-week course and the 8-week course wrapped up into 3 days We're on the call live in the charts, downloading software, all of that. We just finished up that course last week. It was actually great. So that was the first time that we offered a 3-day live. Typically, we do the Forex Essential Live course, which is the weekly live lessons. All of the concepts and homework are due at the end of each week. Once you successfully complete Forex Essentials, then you are eligible to enroll in prep school. And in prep school, we take you through the process of learning 2 major foundational strategies in Forex, which is trading with support and resistance and trading with Japanese candlesticks. You are required to trade each and every day. Within Prep School Live, it is an 8-week course that I proctor each and every week. Same thing on Tuesdays. Typically, we go about an hour on Tuesdays, where each concept that is taught during the week, you're able to ask questions. We're in the market live, executing trades, answering those questions, and really solidifying what you've learned in that particular module. All of your all of your coursework for that module is due at the end of the week. That includes your screenshots, all of your trading activity, all of that is done. And at the end of the 8 weeks, then you are given a final assessment that covers everything that we have learned over the course of the previous 8 weeks. And if you successfully complete that, then you can go to be eligible to attend Girls Gone Forex University Live. Girls Gone Forex University Live is a 10-week course where it is also proctored on a weekly basis. We go about an hour live in the charts. You're able to ask all of the questions that you need in both prep school and university. You get your own personal coach and group coaching as well. So we really go through the process of making sure that you understand the concepts. You get weekly feedback, either in the form of group feedback, a one-on-one coaching session with your coach, or one-on-one written feedback, so that you know from week to week how you are progressing, what you need to change, or either additional information that's given to you specifically as it relates to your progress in the course. Once you complete Girls Gone Forex University, you're able to become part of our alumni group and participate in many of the additional activities that we have for our graduates. Although Trade Like a Girl Academy is finished per se, at the end of Girls Gone Forex University, we do challenges. You can see a live one-on-one coaching is always available. This is not the Girls Gone Forex rate. This is for general public of $7.99. There is a discounted rate for Girls Gone Forex students. We have challenges that you can participate in specifically after you attend university. We go through a period of what we call our 40-day challenge, and that 40-day challenge is really that bridge between you finishing up your education and going live into the markets. So with your 40-day challenge, what you're doing is finalizing your strategy, building up your consistency so that you can begin trading in live money. After that, we also have a master's course, and in the master's course, you work directly with me one-on-one during your trading hours. For the first 3 weeks of that, we do 2 one-on-one sessions each week, and that's really where you're looking to take your trading to a completely different level, whether it's because you do want to become a professional trader, maybe you're interested in becoming a money manager, you're serious about your trading business and want to take it to the next level. So that is a one-on-one coaching, master style coaching that I offer, that includes not only you one-on-one for 3 weeks, but then you are grouped with other master students that are trading within your hours as well. As part of the university course, you choose a trading schedule, whether that be London, New York crossover, or the London market or the Tokyo market. So once we finish up our goals and get you to the next phase as it relates to masters, then you become accountability partners with the other ladies that are in masters that are also trading those same hours. Typically, we all have a lot of currencies pairs that are in common, so we definitely support one another. Make sure that you're not missing anything in your chart, or your accountability partner is not missing anything in their chart, and really work to take your trading to the absolute next level. I missed one important thing, so sorry. The 2020 plan is introduced to you in university as well. The 2020 plan is a wealth building plan. The foundation of it is a wealth building plan, but it does allow for you to tweak it to become an income plan for you if you choose. But the 2020 plan is based on a consistent, moderate level of trading, 20 days a month, 20 pips a month, and that actually will allow you, with proper risk and money management, consistency, trading at a moderate level, allow you to take a small account and turn it into over $1 million in anywhere from 36 to 42 months. And that's starting with about a $500 account. If you start with a little smaller account, then obviously it's going to take a little longer. If you start with a larger account, then it can take less time than that. The key to it is the compounding and the consistency in your trading. You really have to get to a point where you are consistently doing a certain amount of pips a day. We're not trying to knock it out of the park, because I personally have no desire to sit in front of the trades and sit in front of the charts all day, or worry about trades that I have open overnight or over the weekend. So it's really a simple way for you to build wealth that's going to be as stress-free as possible. Some people like to trade in stressful conditions. I'm not one of them. So the 2020 plan was created for people like me that truly want to get in the markets, out of the markets, and go on with the rest of their lives. You can also see in here that we have our mindset courses, and like I said before, Robin is on the call as well. So we start with the mindset shift, and that's really to get you prepared and keep you on track as it relates to your mindset. Psychology is the #1 reason people fail, not only in Forex trading, but in any trading and really any entrepreneurial business venture, because you gotta stay focused. You gotta make sure that your emotions are controlled. There's various things, especially when it comes to trading, from discipline to greed to fear to revenge. All kinds of emotions come up. So by going through the mindset shift and really figuring out why you do the things you do, improving those things that you might have challenges with, and really enhancing your strengths, because whichever they are, whether there's a strength or it's a challenge, it's going to come out in your trading. And what we want to do is be able to minimize those things that are going to have the negative impact on your trading, because they absolutely will come. And we need to make sure that we can see those things in advance and avoid them, because they will strike disaster in your account. Every trade that I lose, because losses are inevitable, but every trade that I lose, I can go back to something that I did wrong, as opposed to it being the market's fault. It rarely, 99.9999999% of the time, it's absolutely going to be you that is the problem and not the market. Every now and then it might be the market, but more times than not, if your strategy is not working, if you're seeing a ton of losses, if you don't have consistency, you don't have discipline, if anything crazy is going on with your trading, you are going to be the problem. So part of that mindset is making sure that we are evaluating ourselves, that we're looking at ourselves in the mirror, answering those tough questions, and Robin does a great job of taking you through those steps so that we can get in tune with ourselves and use that information not only to help us to become great traders, but to help us to become better people just in general and become better in each and everything that we do, whether it is a parent, a sister, a wife, a best friend, if you're working, a better employee, a better manager, a better business owner. In everything that we do, we deal with others, and everyone is not as easy to get along with, as we fully know, especially if you're like me and I have crazy teenagers. So being able to manage emotions and learning strategies and skills that will get us from point A to point B without us pulling out our hair or someone else's hair is always going to be beneficial to us. So there's various courses that are offered within Mindset as well. So you have that option as a course too. But we start with Mindset Shift, and of course we start with Forex Essentials, and then we go from there. So let's take a look at Forex Essentials. Does anyone have any questions about the courses that we offer? All right, so what
I
you,
have a question.
yes ma'am.
You mentioned on the prep school that that
Yes,
would run on Tuesday nights.
correct.
Okay. And then we start on April the 8th, which is a Monday.
Correct.
So just wanting clarification. So would we be meeting the 9th as well? I'm looking at my calendar.
No. So each week, and this is prep school, the prep school module looks no different than what you're looking at right now. So every day on Sunday, the course curriculum is released to you. It's Sunday because that is when it's actually released, but it's like at 7 p.m. on Sunday, so that's considered what our Monday is. So you have access to all of the course materials for that particular module on Sunday night, which gives you Sunday to Monday, Monday to Tuesday to go ahead and review everything, start working on your coursework that is assigned for that particular module. On Tuesday for prep school at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will get live on the call so that we can go over everything that's within the module. You can ask any questions based on what you have reviewed. So what I give you guys for prep school is an actual recommended schedule that you should follow, and that recommended schedule would be Sundays when the coursework is released. Just go through the module and look to see what is going to be required of you for that week. See, okay, I have some reading materials, I have some videos, so that you can truly plan out your week. The worst thing that you want to do, especially in prep school, because you do have a daily assignment of executing trades, and you don't get to make up all the trades on Friday because you didn't trade on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You have to execute your 2 trades on Monday. You have to execute your 2 trades Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so on and so forth. So the recommended schedule is to review what is required of you for the week, start to look over some things. There's an instructional within prep school each and every week that tells you specifically what is required of you. That is the first thing that I recommend that you do on Sunday, so you have an idea of what your Monday will look like. Prep school requires about 60 minutes a day in learning and chart work, 2 hours at the absolute max, and that's going to be dependent on you. I know some ladies who can spend about 30, 45 minutes in the charts every day and get their coursework done. Some do require a little bit more. So I say no more than about 2 hours is what you should be spending in prep school, but it is something that needs to be done each and every day once you include the actual learning of the materials, as well as your execution of your trades. And I'll pull up prep school so that you can actually see the coursework as well here in a second. So Monday, you've executed your 2 trades, you've read a little bit more of the materials, taken some notes based on whether or not you have some questions from the instructional, and then we get on our call on Tuesdays, and Tuesdays is where the Q&A comes in, and we're in the charts executing trades based on the exact assignments that you would do. And then you have the remainder of the week to finish out your module, continue to execute your trades every day, and get everything submitted that is needed for that particular module on the week. So Tuesday is the only day that we'll be on a call live. Everything else you'll have access to and be able to watch the videos, be in the group talking to your coaches to make sure that you're on top of everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is Forex Essentials Live. This is how all of our education modules look. You start with a welcome. There is a video that welcomes you to the course as well. The course schedule is included within here, and these are typically, the welcome and the course schedule is typically available whether or not you've enrolled in the class or not, so that you can get an idea of everything that is going to be taught within that particular course. And here you can see each of the modules. We go through a Forex introduction, then risks and myths, psychology and personality, software, navigation, execution, and then all of the assignments that are required. Because we're doing a 6-week live course, then week 1 is module 1, and at the end of module 1, your quiz and your journal are due. Week 2, module 2, at the end of module 2, your questionnaire and your journal is due, so on and so forth as you go through the modules. So each week you'll have text, you'll have video. If there's an assignment or a quiz, it will be listed as a quiz, and then you'll have those questions to go through. If it's a journal assignment, it's typically listed as Discus, which is all a part of Trade Like a Girl Academy. And within Discus, you would simply just log in via I think it allows you to log in via Facebook, because this is my Facebook pic. You can log in via Facebook, you can log in via your Thinkific account, or even a Discus account if you already have it. And then of course you're prompted with the journal entry. You would type out whatever response that you have and then post it, and we'll get it on our end. So each module will have a Discus assignment that is due up until week 6. So you just need to make sure that you go through each of them, read, watch the videos, what have you. And then that following Sunday, the next module will release for you so that you're able to go through it the same. Forex Essentials takes less time than prep school does, since this is really just foundational. There's definitely going to be the journal entry that might take a little bit of time, making sure that you truly do have an understanding of everything that is included, and especially yourself. A lot of the journal entries are about getting to know you as it relates to trading, because we know our strengths, we know our weaknesses, but how are those things really going to play out in our trading so that we know what we need to work on? If you know that discipline is a problem for you, then that's something that you definitely need to start working on, even with little things. I'm pretty good about discipline. If I go on a diet, I can stay on a diet with no issues. Me and my best friends did no alcohol, no meat for the entire month of January. And as they're posting pictures of hamburgers that they ate and they cheated, I suffered the entire month of January with no meat. So discipline's not an issue for me, but patience sometimes can be. So, and even with all of the years of experience that I have, patience is still something that I have to continuously work on as it relates to my trades, which means that more times than not, patience is an issue for me outside of my trading too. And that's absolutely true. Patience with people, certain situations, that is definitely something that I have to work on. So knowing who you are and how that ultimately affects your trading. How does patience or not having patience play out in trading? Number one, I want to get in and out of trades really, really quick. So is that going to affect me getting into a trade that I shouldn't be in because I'm not being patient enough? What about on the opposite side? Am I trying to get out of the trade too quick and leaving profit on the table that if I was just a little bit more patient, I could have gained additional profit? Not from a greed perspective, but truly from a perspective of the market is still moving and you're out of the trade because you want to just be in and out. So little things like that, because this is my trading business, and whatever little things I have going on, I need to make sure that they're not affecting my trading business in a negative way. So when we get to module 3, which is Forex psychology and personality, we really deal with those things. Things from an actual trader perspective. So you'll take a trader test that ascertains what kind of trader you will be, as well as a personality test, which some of you very well may have taken in different formats, whether it's the red, yellow, green, blue, or the sanguine, or there's various different terms that go with these type of personality tests, and they boil down to the same thing. What does it mean to be a red when it comes to trading? What does it mean to be a yellow when it comes to trading? Does that align with who you are, and how do you make that work as a trader? Learning those things. So of course there's tons of, each section has a journal entry each week about who you are and those specific things that will affect your trading both positively and negatively. In module 4, we even have a time management journal. What are you doing with your time? In Forex Essentials, you know, if you spend 30-45 minutes within the module a day, then you're good. Once you get into prep school, you're going to need more time than that. So doing a time management journal and finding out where there is additional time that we all think that we don't have, but in reality, when we break down our schedule, you find umpteen number of hours that you're like, oh, okay, I need to make that proactive, productive time instead of, and I'm guilty, I'm a Judge Judy fanatic. So there are 2 hours out of my day that I spend with Judge Judy. Could I absolutely be doing better things with my time? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But being able to really look at our schedules, learn how to use a DVR, learn how to make adjustments so that we can use our time more wisely and really get the things done that we need to get done. And that even includes adding exercise into our journals, maybe doing, adding exercise into our days, maybe doing meal planning early in the week, using a crock pot, different things that will overall not only allow us the time that we need to learn what we need to learn, but make our lives easier just in general. I cook dinner 5 out of 7 days a week. I have time to do it, but when I use the crock pot, when I do meal planning, I have additional time that I can focus on other things. So I'm looking at our USD JPY chart, and it looks like it's going to take me out at a stop loss. So I definitely want to show you guys what that looks like here in a second. So I'm trying to watch both. In our module 5, that's when we learn how to navigate our software, as well as talk about why you're here. Why do you want to trade? And not just a matter of, oh, I want to learn a new skill. Really determining what this is about for you, because it can't just be about the money. There are a million ways under the sun to build wealth, to create income, to become an entrepreneur. Why this? And what is going to keep you going when stuff gets hard? Because prep school especially, it's not easy. Out of the 3 courses that we offer, prep school is the most difficult because of the concepts that are being taught. It's like learning a new language. You're going to probably have more losses in prep school than you do in prep school and university. And some of us aren't used to loss. Some of us hate loss. So it's definitely, some of us are afraid of loss. So it's definitely a process that you have to go through. So discovering and knowing why you are truly here and what you're trying to accomplish is going to keep you from giving up and quitting, because it absolutely happens, especially when you take the time commitment, as well as if you're a person that's an overachiever. I absolutely am guilty of that. And you start, things aren't going as quickly, or you're not grasping something as quickly as you usually do, we kind of beat ourselves up. And it's those kinds of things that will say, okay, nope, this isn't for me, instead of truly understanding what this is about and knowing that it is a process. It's an absolute learning process. There's no way that we can get this overnight. So going through the psychology, the personality, the mindset shift allows you to strategize better and have those skills and coping mechanisms, because there's going to be tears. I guarantee it. There's going to be frustration. I guarantee it. But it's those things that we learn along the way about ourselves that allows us to get past that. In Module 6, we execute, execute, execute. This is where we get into the market. We talk more about our goals, learn about counting our pips, and execute trades. And that is it when it comes to Forex Essential Live. We take a final assessment that puts all of this together in the format of a 40-question quiz, as well as more navigation, more execution, to make sure that you absolutely understand the concepts that are taught. Everything is always open book, open video, open note. So definitely just take notes, and this applies to prep school and everything else. Take notes, take notes, take notes. The entire way through, take notes. Highlight, go back and take more notes so that you can get the information clarified that you need so that you can absolutely be successful in this. Anybody can learn to trade. The learning part is not the most difficult part, but you got to do the work. The concepts are going to be new. It's going to be a different way of looking at things. So that definitely can cause some challenges, but I think I pride myself, or I know that I pride myself in delivering it in a way that if the work is done, if you take the notes, if you fully participate in the class, then you can absolutely get it. And that is what Forex Essential Live looks like. Any questions for those of you that will be attending Forex Essentials Live? Our Tuesday class will be 6 p.m. Central Standard Time every Tuesday for 5 weeks, or 6 weeks, excuse me, every Tuesday for 6 weeks. We will not have class the week of your final assessment. That is truly like finals week. That's how we treat it. Let's take a look at prep school if we don't have any questions about Forex Essentials Live. And it has not hit my stop loss yet. It's over here trying to play with my emotions. Let me show you guys what it looks like real quick to see if anybody has any questions. Yes, I hear someone. No? So here we are in the trade that I executed. So the market broke through the level that should have been a nice level of support here, but just because it breaks through a level of support does not mean that it's going to follow through in the way that I thought it would, or that we think it would. I hear someone's background. Let me clear that up for us. So in this particular case, it did break through that level, but there was no follow through. So it's pulled back and gone back up. So here's my stop loss here. You can see that I am down $6.92, $7.43 once you include that commission rate. If the price action breaks through my stop loss level and continues upward, then remember I would take a loss of $9, which was a 10 pip loss. So if I was trading at $10 a pip, it would be a loss of $90. If I was trading at $100 a pip, it would be a loss of $900. And that is always going to be relevant to my account size. I would never be trading at $100 a pip on a $1,000 account. I wouldn't even be trading at $10 a pip on a $1,000 account, although some people do. Not proper risk and money management. So we always want whatever pip value that we are trading to be relative to our account size. A $10,000 account at $10, $20 a pip, that's normal everyday business. So we'll see. I might have picked a pretty good stop loss level, which is the other thing that you learn. The reason that we plot our support and resistance zones is so that they can assist us with our take profit and stop losses. And in assisting us with that, by choosing a stop loss level that's just outside of a level of resistance or just outside a level of support, gives us the opportunity for something like this to happen, for the market to come close to that stop loss level, because my resistance zone is really right in here. Let me plot it for you guys so you can see. So my resistance zone is really right in here. So I set my stop loss outside of that zone because I knew that there was a good chance that if the market did pull back, it would come to this level right here and hit resistance. And that's exactly what resistance means. It is a level within the market that is going to give the market a hard time, so to speak, give it some resistance in going through it. Now, eventually, it very well might break through that level and I will lose the trade, but I knew when I looked at the chart that there was a level of resistance there that I needed to set my stop loss outside of that, so that if it did hit this level of resistance and come back down, there was still an opportunity for me to win this particular trade. So right now, it's doing exactly what I thought it could do. If the bulls take control and are strong enough to break through this level of resistance, then I've lost my $9 out of the deal. If the bears gain control and break back through this level where my entry is and continues downward, then of course I have that opportunity to win. I believe 13 pips is what it was at when I set my take profit. All right, so let's look at prep school. So prep school, in order to, once you have successfully completed Forex Essentials, you have to complete Forex Essentials with a proficiency level of 80% or above. So that means with your navigation of your MetaTrader 4 software, your execution using your MetaTrader 4 software, and passing that 40 question quiz. You need to pass all of that with an 80% or above proficiency in order to be eligible to go into prep school. So you'll submit your final assessment, we'll grade it, we'll give you some feedback regarding it, and let you know whether or not you're eligible to go to prep school or not. Once you're in prep school, you have the exact same format, just the concepts are going to be different. In prep school, we are going to learn a lot. We learn, here's our course overview. In prep school, we learn Forex trading analysis. When you finish prep school, the sole purpose of prep school is when you finish it, you will be able to trade in the Forex market using support and resistance, using Japanese candlesticks, using your chart and market analysis. So prep school teaches you how to trade. You can walk away from prep school and say, I can trade Forex. University teaches you to become a Forex trader. So I actually treat them a little bit differently. When you leave prep school, you can absolutely execute trades with these strategies and create an income if you desire. Once you go through university, that's when you've actually created an entire trading business for yourself and can take it to the next level. So you learn how to read and understand fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and chart analysis. There are journals within prep school, but the journals are absolutely focused on your trading. We're not doing the personal insight and the mindset anymore. We are still including mindset because emotions will come to pass in your trading, and we need to learn how to minimize those emotions. So we'll talk about them within our journals, but here our journal entries are specific to how we got into trades, why we got into trades, how those trades can be better, and whether or not some of those emotions came in and affected our trades negatively. Both positive and negative emotions can affect your trades negatively, so we want to minimize both sides of the equation. When we get too happy about our wins, we kind of get a little cocky, our ego takes over, and we get into trades that we're not supposed to be in. When we're losing trades, our ego takes over and we're getting into trades that we're not supposed to because we want to make up for our losses. So we definitely have to work on minimizing that the whole process through. In Module 2, with fundamental analysis, you learn how to read an economic calendar. You understand the difference between the different reports that come out, how to use them to your advantage in trading, and how to use them to prevent you from getting into trades that you shouldn't be in because they might be a little bit more volatile, or it just might not be good trading conditions that they create. In Module 2, we learn how to truly journal our trades. We learn how to identify trends in the market. Remember, I talked about the uptrend, the downtrend, and consolidation. During Module 2, you'll learn the definition of each and how to identify them so that whenever you open up a chart, you can automatically say the major trend is this, the current trend is this, and that is going to give you an instant decision on what kind of trades you should be entering based on that current trend. Multi-time frame analysis, we talked about that a little bit, where we look at the larger time frames and then go down to the smaller time frames. It's a macro to micro approach so that we know what's going on in the market, and then of course how to use all of that information in order to make our trading decisions. On every chart that you look at, you will always have a minimum of 2 trading options, 2 trading setups. Through your market analysis, through your chart analysis, you'll be able to determine what that minimum 2 trade setups will be. In Module 3 and Module 4, we focus on support and resistance, learning how to draw them, plotting them, learning how we're going to use them as it relates to our entries and our exits, and we will be trading those 2 weeks solely based on support and resistance. First, trading resistance and entering trades solely based on resistance, then trading based on support and entering trades only based on support. Here you can also see that there is a one-on-one pip talk. You are getting feedback each and every week. During Module 4 is when you will actually do a one-on-one session with your coach, so you can talk specifically about what is going on with you and your trading. Module 5 and 6, we focus on actually 5, 6, and 7, we focus on Japanese candlesticks. That is where you learn that each of those red and green candlesticks that we looked at on the chart, they have a specific name and they actually convey a particular message within the market. If it has a long body, it means one thing. If it has a short body, it means another. If it has those long wicks on top and bottom, it means something else. If it has no body whatsoever, it means something else. And we use that information to help make our trading decisions as well. From entries to exits, reversals, pullbacks, breakthroughs, all of those things based on the candlesticks we will learn. And then, of course, we will practice trading with all of those. In Module 8, we put it all together. And in Module 8, we are executing trades based on our support and resistance zones. We're executing trades based on our Japanese candlesticks. And we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty of trading strategies as it relates to Forex, so that when you leave prep school, trading support and resistance, whether it be reversals of support and resistance, pullbacks, breakthroughs, you're able to trade those. Trading strategies as it relates to your Japanese candlesticks, whether those be pullbacks, reversals, or breakthroughs, you'll be able to trade using those as well. You have another live one-on-one coaching with your coaches in Module 8, and in this particular one, rather than just a phone call, you and your coach will actually be in the charts together so that you can talk about the trends, you can talk about the patterns, candlesticks, you can talk about your support and resistance zones, and really get you, excuse me, prepared for Module 9, which is where you will take your final exam. And in the final exam, it is just covering everything that you've learned from Module 1 through Module 8, from your economic calendar all the way down to the execution of your trades using support and resistance in Japanese candlesticks, your final trading journal, which of course will show that you have been consistently trading on a daily basis. We never are looking for perfection in any of this because we absolutely understand that it is a learning process. What we do expect is progress. So from week to week, when you're getting the feedback from me, getting the feedback from your coaches, we absolutely expect you to apply it. We expect you to follow the directions and of course do what is involved within each of the modules. So you have your modules here, no differently than what we just discussed, all of your instructional videos. So when I was talking about a suggested or recommended schedule for yourself, here you can see Module 1, which would be released the Sunday, the 7th. So you can see here that there's videos, there's text. I would probably look at, just the text because that's going to be the easiest thing for you to go through. That should take about 10-15 minutes to go through all the text. I would definitely watch the video instructional. So that first Sunday, if you spend about 45 minutes to an hour on that Sunday, once the material's released, you'll get a full idea of what's expected of you in each and every module, and you're ready to start executing your trades on Monday because it tells you specifically what you're doing. You've already downloaded your MyFX book. It gives you the directions, open the 15-minute chart, executed trade based on the announcement. So you have all of the instructions on Sunday of what you need to do during the week, and then we can get on our call on Tuesdays and clear anything up. Highly recommend for time purposes, definitely spend some time in the module before you get on the call Tuesday so that you can take full advantage of having me on the call with you to get any and all information that you need as it relates to the module. This instructional video that we have in here is pretty similar to what would happen on a Tuesday, but Tuesday obviously is live in the charts looking at what you're looking at for that particular week. So definitely take advantage of that. And then you will continue on through the rest of your modules in the same exact way with your quizzes. I believe there's 3 quizzes, maybe 4 quizzes during the course of prep school. The rest is just going to be executing trades on a daily basis and including your trade journal on myfxbook.com, which let me show you that as well, myfxbook.com. You do learn about in Forex Essentials. Here in myfxbook.com is where you're able to access the economic calendar to get an understanding of what reports will come out, whether or not they will impact your trading hours. So for me, since I trade from about 5:30 to 7:30, I can look here for tomorrow, Thursday, March 14th, and I can see that there are a few low-level reports that are coming out during my trading time. They shouldn't have any impact whatsoever on my trades. If I was trading after 7:30, I see that there's quite a few high-level reports, so I need to be cognizant of that. Tomorrow, Bank of Japan is coming out with an interest rate decision, so if I was trading during Tokyo hours at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, this is something that I absolutely want to be aware of from a fundamental perspective. So in Essentials, you learn how to start using my FX book. In prep school, you use it every single day, not only for your economic calendar, but also to look at your trades, which it looks like I have to sign in. So what you will do in Forex Essentials is attach your MetaTrader 4 account Here's my from our 3-day that we just did. You'll attach your MetaTrader 4 account to your MyFX book account, and what you'll be able to do is actually see all of your trading activity within your MetaTrader 4. So here within MyFX book, so that you can evaluate your trades. So during our 3 days of trading, I executed 5 trades. Let's look at these 5 trades that I executed. It looks like I had a tons of losses and 1 win. I had 1 big win because I was trading at $10 a pip instead of 50 cents a pip, so I was over leveraged on this, but you can see that I made 25 pips. So 25 pips in Australian dollars at $10 a pip gave me a profit of $252. If I was trading at my right level at either $1 a pip or 50 cents a pip, then obviously it would have been just $25 or $12.50. My next 1, 2, 3, 4 trades I lost, but here this is the exact same data that is going to be in your MetaTrader 4. It syncs with your MyFX book so that you can do a much better analysis of it here, and you'll learn exactly how to use all of this information. But it also allows you to upload your screenshots. So here you can see that here is my first trade that I entered. In Forex Essentials, you will learn how to, I talked about navigating, labeling. So here we can see that my horizontal lines are labeled. I have arrows labeled. I've actually labeled text on my chart. So I have all of the details regarding the trade that I executed. And this is what you learn in Forex Essentials. And then once we get into prep school, this is what you're going to be doing on a daily basis. When you execute your trades, you'll be labeling all of your charts and then uploading them into MyFX book. And at the end of the week, when your coach reviews your coursework for the week, they're going to be looking at your screenshots. They're going to be making sure that not only you uploaded them, but you also included your journal entry. So I have small journal entries where I talk about the euro trade was in consolidation, but in prep school you'll actually do full journal entries that talk about any of the fundamentals that were in play, why you entered into the trade, whether you entered it early, late, were there any emotions involved, how could that trade have been a little better. So if we go back and we think about my trade here for USDJPY, if I was doing a journal entry for this, then there's a ton of things that I would have done differently in this trade. Number one, I would have done much better chart and market analysis, and sometimes that very well may be the key, and that would need to be included in your journal. I would talk about where I set my take profit, where I set my stop loss. I would talk about the fact that the market appears to be in consolidation. Why I chose to enter into a sell on a based on a break of consolidation, because there should be an additional support zone around there somewhere. Why I placed my take profit where I did, and then ultimately what the end results of the trade were, and whether or not there were things that I could have done to make it a better trade, whether it was a win or a loss. If it's a loss, obviously I can learn a lot more from it, but I also want to learn from my wins as well to see if there's a way that I could have made that win even better than what it was too. So we see that the market has bounced off that level of resistance, has come back down, but it's not following through here either. So we might get stuck in a period of consolidation, and if so, the market could go either way. So I could take my loss of 9, 10 pips, or my take profit of 13 as time goes. And here again is the example of when you're trading in these hours, typically the trades last a little longer than if you're trading in London or the London-New York crossover. That is all I have for you this evening. Does anyone have any questions? Robin, do you have anything that you'd like to say? I know Robin has a mindset class. So she might have hopped off the call already.
No, I'm still here. Can you
There
hear me?
she is. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so hello everyone. I am, as Linda said, the co-founder of Girls Gone Forex, and I am the mindset coach. And so I just want to give you this little bit of information to think about as you are going into this journey of learning Forex, which may be foreign to a lot of you. But the opportunity that sits in front of you by learning to trade is something that will give you a lifetime of opportunity. So I want you to think about that as you're going through the process. This is not a get rich quick. This is not, don't be swayed by income claims that you see. This is an opportunity for you to learn something that you can literally take with you anywhere you go throughout the world. So it is just you and your computer and the market, and that is empowering. And that is the reason why, that's a big reason why Linda and I wanted to bring this to women, to give you the opportunity to empower yourself so that no one controls your ability to make money, which in turn gives you a freedom. There's a freedom to being able to control the amount of money that you're able to make. So I want you to think about how empowering it will be for you to have that option in your life. And life is so much better when you have options. You can travel and trade. Linda and I went to Mazatlan for a week, and there's nothing that stops you from being in control. And so as you go through your journey, I want you to think about your why. What is your reason for wanting to learn this? And you do need to, your why is what's going to drive you to stay through the times that Linda described where you are going to feel a little challenged. But in the long run, it is 100% worth it to have the ability to do what you need to do for not just yourself, but for your family. It's very, very empowering. So start thinking about that, and that is what will keep you motivated as you go through the journey. And then join us in our mindset course, because you are going to need that, whether you think you do or not. Mindset is what helps you recover faster. So when you do come into the challenges that sometimes you have nothing to do with, they just come into our life based on associations and family and your job and things that you can't control. What mindset does is it helps you stay in control. So that's really all that I have for you. And we are looking forward to having you join the Girls Gone Forex family. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Any questions, ladies? All right. Well, thank you for joining us this evening. I will download this call and post it in the Girls